Students are now learning in the classrooms which are open, and some are now under trees, and it is raining. To that very school, there are some new buildings that were added by the Ministry of Education using World Bank money. And since 2008 up to now, the buildings are not complete also. So my prayer number one is that the ministry takes over to make sure that these classrooms are roofed. And then also secondly, the ministry should also explain why the construction that began in 2008 up to now are not complete. Those are my prayers, Madam Speaker.
Honourable members, the matter is serious. As you know, the islands are hard to reach, hard to stay. So anything that interferes with their well-being is a problem. Is the Minister of Education able to say something about that Seed Secondary School?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I've taken a note because I'm getting the information right now, and I'm going to follow up. I'll report back.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Honourable Bala, 2 minutes. Otio.
Yeah, Honourable Speaker, thanks so much for giving me the opportunity. I rise to raise a very important matter concerning the fatal lightning incidences in this country. You know, if you read the New Vision for June, specifically you find out 6 people were struck dead in Bushenyi. In Ngora, we lost 2 in July. Yesterday, again, we lost 2. This is a mother and a daughter. They actually struck at around 8 p.m. in the morning. Kiradongo, a few months ago, about 2 months ago, they lost 3 people, 3 students. And now, Madam Speaker, this is something that's very, very serious. Because as we talk now, these are increasing. And we want them, I want the Office of the Prime Minister, I don't know whether it is a disaster ministry, to come and help us, to tell us really some of these matters. Why
Your prayers.
Yeah, my prayer just only one. I'm just asking government to come and brief Parliament and the entire country as why there is increase in lightning and what should be done so that our people in this country are safe. I thank you so much.
Honourable members, concerning the schools, I think as far back as the 9th Parliament, this House resolved that all the schools should have lightning arresters. I don't know whether that has happened, but as for the general public, I don't know which minister is responsible for arresting the lightning. Is it the Minister for Environment? Yes. Honourable Minister of Education?
Right Honourable Speaker, I'm sorry for what has happened, but we have started installing lightning arresters on schools that didn't have. Of course, we don't have enough resources to cover everybody yet, but all the new schools that are being constructed, one of the conditions is to have a lightning arrester installed before it is occupied, or before students are allowed in. But as for the area where he's referring to, I'll get more details from him and go and do something about it. I'll report back to you once again.
Is it the Minister for Environment who is, I don't know, the Minister for Environment concerning the, other than the schools, on the roads, in the churches, I don't know who. The Minister of Housing? Yes, Honorable Minister of Finance.
Madam Speaker, I think it resides in the Ministry of Lands and Housing, because every building is given guidelines. When you are building, you get a plan and all other guidelines that accompany that. So we will, again, as government, try to address this matter which has been raised on the floor and come back and update the House.
Okay. Honourable members, the Ministry of Land, Housing and Urban Development will come and address us on the issue of the instances of lightning in around the country and provide some solutions. We give them about a fortnight. Okay. Honourable Sege. Not here. Honourable.
Procedure.
On the lightning? Honourable Kafuzi. Honourable Kafuzi. Honourable Swaka.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and honourable members. Madam Speaker, I'm raising on a matter of national importance, but this one is international. Yes. Yeah, Kampala Express Highway. Even the contractors came, they submitted bids to UNRA, and they gave us a report in the Committee of Physical Infrastructure. But we have had why I say it is a matter of international importance, honourable members. All the trucks which go to Rwanda, Zaire, where they pass that road. Yeah. Most of other roads, they have been worked on. But this road which feeds the country economically has been neglected. Now, my question to the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance and Works collectively, why are you shifting the earlier position of working on the roads, especially for the East, which feeds the national economy? Can you come, information, I take it.
Please, no, you ask. Don't you know what you want to ask? Don't you know what you want to ask from the government?
Okay.
No. I think he knows what he wants to ask.
Okay. Honourable Tinker, I'm well informed. Madam Speaker, may I know from government why are they shifting from the earlier position, and why are they targeting Eastern Uganda in particular, where poverty indicators show that we are the worst people in the country? Is it a deliberate effort to leave the Easterners stunted? Can I know from government?
Honourable Minister of Finance.
Madam Speaker and honourable colleagues, we do understand the importance of Kampala-Jinja Express. We know the benefits it can bring to the economy, and it is still part and parcel of the priorities of this government. I think what Honourable Swaga has had is a discussion on the source of funding for this road, and we are prioritizing it to be taken on by public-private partnership. That's the route we are taking, and earlier on,
clarification, Honourable Chinkasimire.
Right, Honourable Speaker, the clarification I want from the Honourable Minister, why ADB? How has he abandoned an already finished? The information I actually wanted to give to also Honourable Waruswaka is that the information we have received, the contractor who was to sign under ADB loan partnership, why don't you tell us the truth?
No, Honourable Minister, I think I'm alarmed, really, about a public-private partnership for that road. offer to put money in that road. No, no. It's not even a toll road. Toll station there. First build it and then put the toll station. Yes.
Madam Speaker.
It's not an attractive prospect. It will be a very long time, really.
Okay, but Madam Speaker, what we wanted to, the answer to the question which has been put here is whether Kampala-Jinja Express Highway is still a priority of government or we have shifted the priority. It is still a priority for government. What we have not concluded is
the hospital. The money is there and the ministry has not done anything. Bahati, if you want us to be unruly here, Minister, please. So, Madam Speaker, I think the Prime Minister should come and give a statement on this point of the Eastern Road. It's a very important road, Madam Speaker.
Sit down.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Sabunya, I'm coming. Honorable Sabunya.
Madam Speaker, I have information. I have information as to the proposed PPP that is going to be ushered in for Jinja Expressway. Just because it is not good to mention some companies, but there's a local company here that has almost finalized the feasibility studies for that road. Contract to be signed. We have our own consultants on that road, and much of the people have been compensated.
Order. The Honorable Minister of Finance, Honorable Bahati. There is a question. What happened to the ADB arrangement? Because the ADB expressed interest in financing that road as part of the Northern Corridor, because that's the...
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's very, very unfair in this country to see what is happening. The roads that have been done to the... Madam Speaker, you expressed your concern on this floor, how long it takes you to cross from Namaojoro to Kampala. We suffer, for us who come from that part of the world. Public and public-private partnership. Now, there was an arrangement for the African Development Bank to come and finance the road to the east. And you shift now that we are putting it under public-private partnership. That's a private arrangement, and you cannot force anybody to carry out a project under PPP. So I don't know what this government is doing to the people of the East. Madam Speaker, I think we should mobilize the people of the East who come across the Nile, that we tell the government that they must carry out this road. We have been waiting for a long time, and that road must be done. Not looking at the economy. You know, the economy we contribute to this country, Madam Speaker, is enormous. We feed now the rest of the parts of Uganda and even our neighbors. But what have we gotten? What have we gotten, my people from the East? So, Madam Speaker, we must force government to carry out this road and work on this road so that we don't keep suffering. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank my colleague, Honorable Walswaka, who brought this matter. Right Honorable Speaker, tomorrow we are talking about visitor guests coming in this country. And one part of the Eastern concerns some tourist areas. Like we have now the bridge, whereby people want to go and look at it. We have the hills, we have the warrant, want us to pass a loan. They come here and sweet talk to Parliament, to members of Parliament. We pass these loans, and then after passing the loans, when you are stuck somewhere, you want to go to another way, you don't hear. When you look at the members, when you get members who use that road, honorables with why the police vehicles clearing people. Yes, Honorable Speaker, I take the information.
Highlands, information from the highlands of Kapchora.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with the roads of Eastern Region, please protect me.
Order.
Madam Speaker, whenever we get any contractor who is a good contractor working on the roads to the east, like RCC, immediately it wants to start the work, they change and shift. Contractors who even don't do the work the right way, I thank you. Then they transfer it to the areas they know. Thank you.
Colleagues, there is no doubt about the importance of this road. There is that the existing road is saturated. There is no doubt that we need to construct a new road. What is at the floor now, we are getting different views. Chinese are going to do it. It's going to be done by PPP. Right, Honorable Speaker, I beg you and my colleagues, you order the Minister of Works on Tuesday to come and tell us the truth. Then we debate from there. Is it PPP? Is it the Chinese? Because now what we are debating on what we don't know. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Okay. Onangura, and then we take a decision. You are back. I see. Okay. Okay, Onabangura.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the road we are talking about is a very important road, not only to the economy of this large. Madam Speaker, I am talking as a member of parliament representing a border which creates the international relationship towards the east. Madam Speaker, the number of trucks that are economically empowering us now here has continued to grow. The statistics that I want to give this August House now is we receive 2,000 Aba border every day. If we are to add on those from Busia, maybe 500, we need a road, and we should have had this road even yesterday. It is very unfortunate to hear now that a road that should have started has again led to change of position to a PPP. Assuming we don't get those people agreeing in motion, where you stay in one place for 10 hours, how much are we losing in terms of business? Madam Speaker, let me give information to that borderman.
Brother, is that the road we are talking about is really very important, like you have said. When you look at flyovers, express highways in other towns, in the other parts of this country, but ignoring the eastern road is actually causing more country. That is the information I wanted to give you.
Thank you very much for that good information. Madam Speaker,
order members.
I conclude by not undermining our country. By not undermining our country. We're a growing economy. But Madam Speaker, I want to inform you, immediately you cross to Kenya these days, the roads have been widened from Malaba up to Mombasa now. New infrastructure. So how I wish we also follow suit. Because those people come and are now complaining. They are moving well, but when they cross Uganda, Honorable Minister, the PPP that government is thinking about, will it delay construction of this road? Let's get ADB to work on this road to give the people who come from the east opportunity to enjoy flowing and faster movement, which will economically translate into business. Thank you very much.
Madam Speaker, recently I was having a discussion with some lawyer friends. Said it should be recognized, it should be official, that one of the family planning methods is to take people living in Chireka beyond going to Mukono side. One, you leave very early, no morning glory. You come back very late, no evening glory. Don't stay that side. We need to know whether the Minister of Finance is planning against people from that side. Magnitude. Take it to PPP. PPP is still a struggling source of financing. PPP does not guarantee that I have never received. Is the only Minister of State for planning. What kind of planning is it? Is it family planning or planning for the people of this country? When
So you cannot experiment with the East in a PPP. Everywhere else in the country, we have got loans, but for that side, PPP. So it's unacceptable. We don't want it. We want answers, right answers. When are you going to build the road?
The House, and we want to ask for time so that we come to the House when we have finalized all the arrangements to construct Kampala-Jinja Express. In addition to that, there's also standard gauge railway, which comes from Maraba up to Kampala. So we'll be coming back to the House if you can give us 2 weeks. If you can give us 2 weeks. Yes. We would want, Madam Speaker, would want to come to the House.
Order.
We would want to come to the House with a concrete position on this matter, because finances is not a one-day work. So we would come to the House and inform the House on which route we are taking. But Kampala-Jinja Express remains a priority for this country and will be constructed.
But all your road we are pre-financing it.
So go for recess. You will come back with an answer. Think Asimire, 2 minutes.
He has finished.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and the honorable members. The matter I want to by the RDC of Hoima and the Honorable Minister Karubanga. Right Honorable Speaker, on the 17th of this month, they were met with a lot of tear gas and flying bullets. But one incident happened. What? He is half. There is increasing tension, particularly being led by two people, the RDC and the Minister of State for Public Service. My prayer is that this is a civil activity where we want a free and fair election. Could the government prevail on these two persons in this election to give us a peaceful election?
Well, fortunately, the Prime Minister, leader of government business, is here. Maybe he can say something about that.
Right Honorable Speaker, the credentials of the National Resistance Movement on free and fair elections are well known, they are historical, and they are very strong. There is no debate about that. Number two, anybody cause some problems contrary to the law would be doing so on his or her own volition. Point number three, we have just had government will follow up this matter, and if anything has been done contrary to the law, appropriate legal steps will be taken.
Thank you very much. Honorable.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I raise on a matter of national concern. About 2-3 months ago, government released money for honoraria for LOC1s. New LOCs have been created because of the population growth. The districts of Chegegwa, where I come from, Kamwenge and Chenjojo, and I believe other districts.
The payments for the honoraria for the LC1s, the new elected LC1s have not been paid since they took office.
No, that's what
that would be the Minister of Finance.
saying because of a new district.
Immediately.
This was money for the existing LCs, I thought. Yes. So how did they do it?
Madam Speaker, I think the Minister of Finance also could help clarify, now that we are talking about Unoria for LCs. In some areas, they have been taxing. They get 10,000 per month. Now that they are paid 120, they are taxed. This is a matter that I think government needs to come out clearly. Even if you are really short of your tax base is very narrow, must you tax 10,000 per month? And please, give some hope.
Madam Speaker, Honorable Boss is not only a lawyer but a senior member of this House. You know that issues regarding taxation rest with this House. So whatever tax laws that we put, we apply, because we cannot do otherwise. If you want the allowances for LC1s to be exempted, then we must do that. But as we
Honorable
speak,
Minister, the threshold, 10,000 shillings a month, is that taxable?
yes, but
I don't think this House has ever authorized you to tax.
you authorized us to tax consolidated allowance.
Of 120,000?
Even if you are getting 50. So unless we come back, Madam Speaker, and reverse this and exempt them, we can't do much.
Honourable members, if that's the position, we must bring a motion here to exempt them specifically. 1,000 shillings. You can't.
But why do they consolidate it?
Yes.
On that matter, I don't know, Speaker. Actually, it is good that it has come to your attention. Even the 15,000 that sub-county councillors receive is taxed. And the argument is the same, that as long as it's being drawn from the consolidated fund. But technically, it falls below the taxable threshold. So that's where we have issues. Then the other one, right, Honourable Speaker, on additional to what they have raised. We have election that took place in Nebi. New sub-counties are created. But then they are not operational because the Secretary of Treasury wrote to the COW that this district, this election and the councillors. That should have also been answered by the Minister.
Okay,
of
the Minister should, when you're coming to answer, let's talk about the newly created administrative units in which district? The new ones, what was it you were saying, the new ones?
We recently had by election where all the newly created sub-counties had their LC3 chairpersons elected and the councillors. But then also town councils in some other districts. Now, the point is, government has written to the new sub-counties.
Madam Speaker, in that situation, if LC3 chairperson has been elected and the councillors are serving, then it's the responsibility of governments on how to pay them because they cannot be in office and they are not paid. If we allow them to be elected, then we have the responsibility to pay them if they're entitled to the allowance. So we'll work on that.
So can those members who are affected submit in writing to the minister so that he knows which sub-counties have been affected? Wait, Otio, Truda.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Just to add to what Honorable Joshua has said, Keith Makanizi, Secretary to the Treasury, wrote to local governments, to COWs, and said the new sub-counties should go back and under their mother counties, sub-counties. Now that is causing confusion because they have elected LC3 chairpersons, they were passed by a local government about 3 years ago and have been phased in a way of starting. Now they are telling them to operate under the mother sub-counties. So people locally are saying, for us, the politicians did them, gave them sub-counties which do not exist. And yet they were passed. We have minutes.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. What I want to add on what my colleagues have said is, the scenario in these newly created local councils, threes, is really ugly. First of all, after the letter that the Honorable has talked about, they are writing a letter after these old sub-counties have already passed budget. And when they were passing their budget, they did not include these other sub-counties that were carved off. That means there is no social services whatsoever that is going to be delivered in these newly created sub-counties. Now, it leaves us in a dilemma. All the chairpersons whom you left, you are going to die of hunger. Now, it makes us really, it's ridiculous.
But there's no budget provision in the old sub-county. It can't be there.
The entire country is not only Padire, even Ngora, this is probably the same. Now, for all of them have been forced to go back to the old sub-counties. Now, yet at the same time, like your Honorable, and if you go here, they can give us our list in a local commission here. Madam Speaker, that's why my appeal is that to the government. When we are not ready, we should tell Ugandans, other than causing this type of three chairpersons, have already got their motorcycles. Those three chairpersons, they have got their bicycles. Can't provide not only Kamuli, not only Ngora, but every part of this country. Them sort these matters out once and for all. But they are taxing this 10,000 per month. Should actually be that should not be an issue here, because how do you tax 10,000 per month? This man gets money at the 10,000 at the end of the year. Then you now tell me you are taxing him. You know, it's an embarrassment.
So, honour members, that's why I've said that one of the members should take up, maybe the chair of finance should bring a motion here to exempt those categories from that tax. We can't live on their backs. It's not right. Now, honour members, Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, as colleagues have said, clearly there was incoordination. And in fact, Cabinet has recently taken it that no administrative units will be created unless the financial component of it has been approved in order to remove this type of situation. Secondly, the overall ministry responsible for ensuring that local governments are properly coordinated is Ministry of Local Government. And I don't see any colleague here. I do wish to propose, Right Honourable Speaker, that next week the Minister of Local Government comes to this August House and explains the position government is taking to ensure that this repeated mess is properly sorted out so that we can concentrate on other things and this matter is cleared once and for all. Second, there is a bit of uncertainty about people who have been elected to these positions or who have been campaigning for positions. They also need a categorical statement from government, from the Minister of Local Government, so that the country is put to rest on this matter.
The best Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I have a matter of national importance concerning the 4 villages in the Busia municipality. I remember one time on floor of Parliament I proposed that we better donate these 4 villages to Kenya, since the opposite side of Kenya has electricity which is imported from here. Ministers listen and take his orders that these 4 villages have no power due to lack of the transformer. It has increased insecurity. You remember, these are the villages where they have stolen guns. I request government to give these 4 villages special attention. as quick as possible. Good enough, Right Honorable Prime Minister. These 4 villages support and vote NRM 99%. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
The Minister of Energy is directed to come within a fortnight. Thank you, including Sophia. Yeah, honour members, that's the end of the matters of national interest. We are going to question time, but I wanted just to announce that the 25th National Prayer Breakfast will be on the 8th of October, as usual. It will be start at 7 o'clock in the morning at Pearl of Africa Hotel. As usual, the guest of honor will be our President, Mr. Yoweri Museveni. The speaker will host it. Our keynote speaker is Mr. Pastor John N. Lau. He's coming in from the United States of America. The theme is the power of character and leadership from the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 7 to 8. So now members, put down in your diaries. We might be on recess, just put in your diaries that you will attend, but also confirm your participation by the 25th of September. There will be forms in the lobby, and you can indicate there that you're able to attend. And only those who confirm will be given invitation cards in their pigeonholes. If you don't confirm, you'll not get a card. Thank you very much. Then, honour members, we have on the 26th of September 2019 at 8 o'clock, all of you members are invited to a dinner in honor of the CPA delegates. The venue will be here at Parliament. We shall be in our parking lot there at 8 p.m. This is the Minister for Gender before we go to the Prime Minister's time.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I rise on procedural matter in relation to the electoral reform bills, Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill 2019, the Electoral Commission Amendment Bill 2019, the Local Government Amendment Bill 2019, and levels. The committees were able to travel to 14 sub-regions. We remained at the district levels where we interacted with a few of those local government associations were supposed to be here. And we would like to receive all their views, especially on these electoral reforms. Madam Speaker, we seek that additional of interest from the general public and other civil society. I beg to move.
Honourable Member, would the 25 days include the hearings, the writing, and the presentation of the report?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Honourable Members, the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs is asking for 25 days additional to complete their work. Is there any objection? Okay. The House has granted the authority. Wish you well in that very big national duty. Thank you very much. Now, if we could quickly go to item 4, we designate the members, Honorable Bavaria Yanga, and then we go to the Prime Minister's time and we shall come back to item 3. Yes,
item 4. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The procedural matter I'm raising, Right Honourable Speaker, is that on an issue here, which was on matter of national importance, where the minister was directed to report to this House as fast as possible. It was concerning the safety of medicines at Kibukwere Center 4, where these drugs were impounded. Patients are suffering at the health facility. The case is not proceeding. So my request, my prayer is to have the medicines back to the facility, since photos were taken, because the public is being punished innocently. Up to now, the minister has not yet reported this House. So the procedural matter I'm raising is, wouldn't it be procedure right, since the minister is present in the House, to give us the update on the status of the case? And also, since the Prime Minister is also present, I've been following on the issue of the beds which were picked from Kibukwere Center 4 in February. To date, he directed the Minister of Health to bring back the beds. Up to now, the beds are not yet brought. Those are the procedural matters I'm raising, and as the...
Can't dodge me. Okay.
Item 7, Prime Minister's time.
Yes, let's start from Choga. Let's start there.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Prime Minister, 100 seed secondary schools in this country. And one of those seed secondary schools happened to be a Gigdak seed secondary schools in Amorata district. Right Honorable Prime Minister, to date, no single intervention of infrastructure development has been undertaken in a Gigdak seed secondary school. Could you probably update the country on the fate of the 100 seed secondary schools that were taken over by government in 2017 and 2018 in relation to infrastructure development? Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, it is true that some secondary schools are still wanting in terms of infrastructure, but government has mobilized resources to build secondary schools in sub-counties where they are not, and number two, to ensure that in sub-counties where the infrastructure is indeed wanting, it is also covered. The money is being borrowed specifically for this purpose. And we are in the final stages, I'm sure, of getting the money in our...
To see if I can get this pledge put in effect.
Right Honourable Speaker, the people of Chejegwa must be saluted for harmoniously living with their African brothers and sisters who are in distress. Kafuzi to follow up the presidential pledge and to work with the UNHCR to ensure that this health center...
2018, under Ministry of Education, some schools in our districts were promised that they would install thunder arresters. But we've tried to move up and down. Up to date, the lightning arresters have not been installed. Hopes that these lightning arresters will be installed or never. But it was in the budget of 2017, 2018, and my district was among the beneficiaries. Schools in my district were among the beneficiaries. Thank you very much.
Prime Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, I'm informed that Ndugu Muyingo gave an authoritative answer on this matter. For interest of clarity, government is carrying out the program of handling manner, and you'll be covered at the appropriate phase.
Honourable Babadidi. Babadidi Sembatia. Then I come this side. Okay.
Speaker, Madam Speaker, I would like to ask the Prime Minister, Right Honourable Prime Minister, is he aware that these comprehensive nurses trained are not doing good job? Because they are given bits and pieces of training in nursing, midwifery, pediatric, intensive nurses, instead of training our really nurses and midwives who know their job very well. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honourable Prime Minister.
The idea was that these nurses confront so many challenges, and that is good if they can handle deliveries and responsible for help this area, and in case those gaps exist, to ensure that they are corrected.
Honourable Sembatia, Ajilo, Watongora.
Currently, there is a smaller work going on at a small scale for the construction of the drainage system at Ibombo. May I know whether from from the Prime Minister whether it is part of the bigger program we were expecting, because I did ask the union officials and they didn't give me a clear answer. May I know from the Prime Minister whether the work has started? If not, when shall we expect it? Thank you.
You know, I'm not sure whether I really understood what you want the Prime Minister today to say. I'm lost myself, so I don't know what the Prime Minister really. Honorable Ajiro. Ajiro.
Don't go into starvation when there's drought. And we have been pushing government for construction of silos for us granaries for our food. Right now there are harvests going on. People are planting and we expect good harvest in the next season. These food silos should be in place so that people have the security of food. I would like to know what the position of government is as far as silos are concerned. Thank you.
Prime Minister.
First of all, to thank government for the SAGE program. However, in my district, in my constituency, government again is killing the elderly.
Ngoma, then Viandara, then I go this side.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on the 20th of August 2019, government was put to task to explain to Ugandans why there are increasing road accidents that have claimed many lives of Ugandans in different parts of Uganda. The recent accident, Madam Speaker, are the two accidents which occurred in Bugiri, where a Kenyan-bound bus had a head-on collision with a trailer and a number of lives were lost. And to add on that, also they're doing to rescue the Ugandans who are being killed by our reckless drivers. Thank you very much.
I don't know, didn't we ask one of the ministers to come and address that issue? No, we're expecting an answer from the sector minister. Noviandara.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. First of all, I must thank government for upgrading one of my Center 2 to Health Center 3. But my question to the Prime Minister, yesterday I was there, and this construction, first of all, has stalled. Secondly, there is no provision of lighting, either by electricity or solar. Secondly, there is no provision for water. I thank you.
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, I want to salute Ndugu Biandara for being on top of the situation and expecting projects undertaken by government in say. Is being consistent. Right Honourable Speaker, Minister of Health may also be useful.
Honourable Kajinda. Kajinda Wamai.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Prime Minister, I have got information from
you down
from a whistleblower that most of the CCTV cameras around Kampala City are not functioning. More so, there are no experts to operate them. Can you tell us exactly what is on the ground?
That may have faults, but as far as the information I have indicates, CCTV cameras are generally working well, and I must say they have helped us a great deal of criminals who have been involved in some of the ghastly activities. So really, our concern now should be to ensure that we expand the network of CCTV cameras so that our security can be enhanced and the criminals can be caught without such problems like we have been having in the past. So let me assure my brother Kajinda that the situation is under control.
Honorable Amai.
On question of experts, experts are available.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Amai, then Sowanyana.
Mr. Prime Minister.
Kadogo. I've seen you.
Mr. Prime Minister, you're Minister of Local Government some time back and told Ugandans about those towns which had become cities. Barara, Fort Portal, Guru, Arua, Jinja, and Mbale. Now, these towns have got to prepare for state status. They went and bought land for National Forest Authority in order to...
Right, Honorable Speaker, it's good some announcements have been made so that there can be better, proper preparation for these places to become good cities where plans were handled. Either is further reviewing this matter. It was raised recently, but is being further reviewed so that a paper is brought to Cabinet and subsequently information will be brought by the Minister after Cabinet.
Then Vero Onokadogo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Right Honorable Prime Minister, on the 10th of July 2019, of this pledge by the President, because currently we might again get to the same situation where players struck in AFCON. During the weekend, the Uganda Cranes is playing, and some players have begun to complain about that pledge by the President. So if you give them some hope and some good answer, then they will get to know that they can play at the weekend, expecting at such a date to get their money. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Prime Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, if His Excellency the President made the pledge when he made the players after their quite good performance in Cairo, it's clear to me that this pledge will obviously be fulfilled, but this was done and it therefore takes time to organize that pledge to be paid. As for the details of when it will be actualized, this information will be got either from the Minister responsible for sports or from State House.
Prime Minister, I hope that the President can remember.
The Speaker's message will be conveyed accordingly.
Ona Kadogo, Sobagara, Nabutanyi, Esiangu. Let's start with those four.
It is in regard to the fishermen on Lake Choga. Right Honorable, for the last 2 years, the fishermen on Lake Choga, they have been tortured. They are against illegal fishing. They are picked, they are taken to the northern side, they are beaten, they are brought up when they have been beaten. And then the UPDF always tells them that they get orders from above. For us as a region, we've tried that our issues are listened to. But again, our colleagues on Lake Victoria, Uganda region and other regions, at least they have got the opportunity to the President and their issues have been at least.
Honorable Speaker, when the Wananchi speak to the Honorable Member of Parliament, they have really spoken to government. And indeed, that's why this matter is being discussed in this very august house. The voice of the people has spoken through you. Secondly, orders to UPDF from above. Yes, it is true. Orders are given from above, but these are orders to protect fish and ensure that the lakes are protected so that the fish industry can be resuscitated. The question of people not being treated well, being beaten, this cannot be an order either from the President or from CDF or from authorized leadership. This, I believe, if it has happened, maybe
Madam
some
Speaker,
misdemeanor by some officers or men,
Right,
which matter needs to be followed, investigated, and dealt with accordingly.
Prime Minister, I think you're real far ground on that issue. Because since February 2018, we have been complaining about that issue. Not as
one had said earlier, the aim of government is protect people and cannot be to harm, hurt, or beat people. If, however, it has happened,
Procedure, Madam Speaker.
that's an errant behavior.
Procedure.
But those the Right Honourable colleagues have raised on this very matter.
That not only illegality in the fishing is being capped down, when we have people with evidence who've died, we have people in August House, and on top of that, Right Honourable Prime Minister, is it procedurally right for you to say government issues orders and yet all other atrocities are being committed, and the same government, some of us are speaking like this, it's not because we don't support government, but we are here because of the people. This evening I received a call. Madam Speaker, it is on this floor that we
express ourselves.
We ask for a ferry to carry the people of Amolata to the Kwania side across. And for us, we are in a peninsula. We only have one exit and one inlet in Amolata. The people of Amolata business. He's not fishing, he's not carrying anybody with the fish, but when he was found with motorcycles and everything, he was arrested, rounded up, and beaten. And here, we are speaking as though nothing is taking place. Thank you. Are we in order?
Honour members, even the school children have been arrested going to school in a boat. Yes.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would like the Prime Minister to clarify what could be the possible reasons as to why our Foreign Minister, Honorable Sam Kahamba Kutesa, was denied visa to go and attend to UN General Assembly. What could be the reasons behind that, and how, as a country, we are going to lose?
Right Honourable Prime Minister. Honourable Nabutanyi, Siangu, Variayanga, let's start with those three first.
The Bubulo Bududa 28 kilometer circular road has been damaged, and as we talk, it is now impassable. My colleague, knowing that this is central government, but the last maram on that road was put in 2003 when I was still a younger boy. It is now 16 years down.
With your permission, there is Bueno here.
Okay. Mouse.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, that road is among the roads that UNRWA works on. But we had a framework contract which expired, and it is one of the roads right now that in the next one or two tarmac standard, and I think resources are also being found to make sure that there is a lasting solution for it. Thank you.
Honourable Siangu. Then Payayanga.
And we recognize a lot of attention has been given to the passenger terminal. But the other part of the project is in cargo, and it contributes almost 30% of the revenues. But I have got complaints from some of the stakeholders. The expansion in cargo area is very minimal. One area is the warehouses being constructed are much smaller. There are 3 handling companies. There is NAS trading as NHAS trading as NAS, and there is Das Air. They have been requested to share one warehouse. It is practically impossible. And yet we are expanding the airport. My question is, one of the perishable products that we export majorly is fish. It has not been catered for. Because there's a complaint, the fish exports are going to go down because the provisions for the cold stores are not there. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Prime Minister.
Has given ample room and space in, but it has now been solved.
Nobody younger.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Coming back again and again and again. Right Honourable Prime Minister, is it possible for you to help the August House get to know the achievements we have got in the Prime Minister's question time?
I think the custodian of the answers and the records is the clerk. It's the clerk who can give you information about what has been asked. He can't keep it. I don't think he can answer that. Ona Muhindo, then the leader of opposition.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. My question to the Right Honourable Prime Minister is that we appreciate the efforts government is putting up in ensuring that our rural communities are getting electrified. However, this country, which are situated in mountain areas, my constituency has sub-counties that are only accessed through very steep roads that can only handle light vehicles. Where we have sub-county is reached and connected to the national grid. Right Honourable Prime Minister, I want you to assure the people of Uganda, specifically the people from Mahango sub-county and other parts like that, to ensure that the government has a provision for them because they are also not squatters but valid citizens of this country and they need to benefit from that service. Thank you.
The Prime Minister has some idea about what you are talking about. It's true government caters for these people, and extra efforts are made by the ministries concerned with roads to give one more support. We do expect that some new scientific methods are being worked out where there will be even better ways of maintaining and keeping the roads in those difficult areas, but the point is very well taken. Right Honourable Speaker, before I sit, the Honourable Minister responsible for youth has...
You can ask a question about the situation of former IGP, General Kaihura, that sanctions have been slapped against him, but that
the American government has taken measures weak. A meeting has been called of the minister responsible for defense, security, internal affairs, and Attorney General to give further examination of this matter so that government will keep this August House fully posted on what is happening on that matter.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Prime Minister, when should we expect it to be completed? I also would like to know when we are going to have the board of director for National Children Authority. This was also some time back in 2016 when the law was amended. But to date, that board is not yet there. Right Honourable Prime Minister, when you hear us come back with some other questions asked before. At least when you commit yourself here, do the work. We have urban areas, that is the divisions, higher education. The division, some of the divisions do not have seed schools. Some of them do not have schools, and they do not have seed schools. So what should we tell our people? Because at one time for Peche division, I was told what was to go to that school. But when you answer them, make sure you also follow them that they should work, so that we don't come here again like for the fisheries. You see, the fishermen depend on the lakes. For them, by the water side, let us help our people better. And when you answer those questions, follow them up and make sure that the implementation is done. If it's not done, then we come here again to disturb you, because our
issues. Let me say on the question of fish that Lake Victoria, things are being handled better than Lake Kyoga. The policy is one, lakes of Uganda. As I said, the Minister of Defense will come and make a statement on the matter, and construction is on course. Work is in progress, and in fact, I propose that my sister spend some time and inspect some of the work that is being done. The question of children, the board for the children, yes, I expect this to be done soon. Names are from the Minister of Gender for submission to Cabinet for consideration. So the board will be formed very soon.
Members, we have used the 45 minutes of question time. Let's go quickly to item 4. Item 4.
Item 4. Redesignation of members to sectoral committees.
Sorry. Yeah, okay. Let's reach that one, then I'll call you.
Redesignation of members.
Yes, Honorable Yanga.
On behalf of the Right Honorable Speaker, and in accordance to Rule 157, subsection 4, Honorable Naigaga Mariam, from HIV/AIDS and related matters to climate change, Honorable Seba Gararati. I'm acting on behalf of the Right Honorable, the list I've just read. Thank you.
Okay, Honourable members, I put the question that the independent members who have been designated be approved. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Is there...
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, there is a irregularity on the issues of budget, particularly budget concerning local governments. We didn't realize this until it was brought to our attention by Olga and the Uganda Urban Authorities Association. The argument is that when the budget process starts, local governments give their budgets to Minister of Finance to be approved. And when these budgets are submitted and approved, it is what is supposed to be brought to Parliament for appropriation. Now, when we did appropriation here, there were a number of challenges that included irregularities where the figures which were appropriated were below what was submitted and approved by the Ministry of Finance. For example, what was approved for Kira municipality is 9,500,000,000, but when it came to appropriation here on floor of Parliament, the figure which was presented was 126 million. That means in the 4 quarters, Kira municipality will be receiving like 31 million, which is much below, and they cannot do anything. For the case of Mukono municipality, what should have been appropriated for them is 4,061,000,000, but the figure brought here, which was appropriated, was 708. These irregularities do not only affect very few municipalities, very many during appropriation. It can only be corrected through appropriation amendment. That therefore means that those that have received serious matter, we need to take a decision on as Parliament.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, we're making a statement regarding the irregular recruitment of non-natives on the quotas of other districts during the recently concluded recruitment exercise by the Uganda Police Force. I believe by now this statement is in your iPads. On Thursday, the 12th of September 2019, honourable members of Parliament raised issues regarding the recent recruitment of probational police constables and the learner assistant inspectors of police across the country. General allegations that the process was marked with irregularities were raised. Specific allegations relating to malpractices were also raised regarding Mayuge, Kumi, Ngora, 12/9/2019, by the Uganda Police Force describing the mandate and process of the recruitment itself. This part of the report contains annexures for the probational police constables per district, Annexure D, summary of selected candidates by number for the probational police constables by district, and Annexure E, summary of selected candidates by region, again for the probational police constables. And finally, Annexure F, which is a summary of selected candidates for the learner assistant inspectors of police. Right Honourable Speaker, this is the report of the 2019 Uganda Police Force recruitment exercise as I introduced. Having received the necessary authorization of government in the financial year 2018-19 and the relevant funding, the Uganda Police Force conducted the recruitment exercise of 5,000 persons for the two positions of probational police constables and the learner assistant inspectors in the months of July and September in 2 phases. This was in accordance with the legal framework of the 1995 Constitution, the Police Act, and the police standing orders. The recruitment process. This exercise was organized in 2 phases. Phase 1 was conducted from the 29th of July to the 4th of August, while Phase 2 took place from the 30th of August to the 3rd of September 2019. The exercise targeted the recruitment of 4,500 in the field of medicals, 80, and forensics, as provided by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics and probational police constables. But on the residential population in a given area, as computed by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, after thorough vetting. The membership of the recruitment team were as follows: men who had to be at the level of Assistant Commissioner of Police or Senior Commissioner of Police, a Vice Chairperson, the Regional Police Commander, or, whose rank had to be the Senior superintendent of police or senior superintendent of police. And this group had a secretary, again, whose rank would be assistant superintendent or senior superintendent of police. They were co-opted on the team for the purpose of vetting and identification of the applicants to ensure that the right applicants are recruited Ugandan and have a valid national identity card or a national identification number, what we call NIN in this report. 2, the age limit in this first phase was between 18 and the LC2, LC3, and the resident district commissioners. This was to ensure that the people who are recruited are actual people of that area. And then, of course, an application letter in the person's own where a citizen of Uganda possess a diploma in the relevant fields: clinical medicine, community health, orthopedic clinical medicine, public health, dentistry, environmental health science, pharmacy, information technology, computer science, electrical engineering, telecommunication engineering, air conditioning and refrigeration, forensic science, and any other diploma, but with a bias in biology, chemistry, physics, and mathematics, mechanical engineering, and automotive engineering. You must be physically and mentally fit, aged between 18 and 25 years, duly endorsed with letters from recommendation from the LC1, LC2, LC3, and the RDC, and an application letter in his own handwriting. This was the criteria at the recruitment phase. In the second phase, at the end of the first phase of the exercise, many candidates did not qualify on account of academic qualifications and age. Out of a total turn-up of 19,200 police assistant inspector of police, respectively. Therefore, in the second phase, informed by phase 1 findings as I have read out, for the failure to attain the required target, the Policy Advisory Committee of the Uganda Police Force met on the 21st of August 2019 and they resolved to conduct another phase of recruitment under a reviewed criteria. The second phase criteria were adjusted to read as follows. The rest remained: you had to be a Ugandan and so forth, the national identity card, but on qualifications at the same sitting. Number 2, the age limit was adjusted for the probational police constables from 18 to 25. The earlier one was 18 to 22. This was in order to catch more people. For the learner assistant inspector of police, the adjustment was only 1. The age limit was adjusted from the age of 18 to 28. And copies of the adverts for both phases of the recruitment here, and I'll be tabling them on the table. Qualifying applicants from phase 1 taken up in phase 2. You will note that because of this adjustment, there may have been people who reported in the first phase at the recruiting centers at the district. But because the qualifications were stringent, they did not qualify. Now, when these qualifications were readjusted in the first phase, there are people who qualified. With the adjustment in the recruitment criteria, 1,397 applicants from phase 1 were found to be qualifying for recruitment. The new advert, therefore, specifically required the persons who were participating in the first phase of the exercise out of our shortage of 2004. This left a balance of 600 decentralized, and desks were put for central region, western region, southern, southwest, northern, and eastern. But this was done now at Kibuli. We arrived on the basis of a lack of a budget to go back to all the districts for a refreshed recruitment countrywide for the required 670 persons. A total of 2,235 applicants turned up for this recruitment at Kibuli from the various parts of the districts in the country. The methodology generally used in both phases was as follows. Screening of applicants. The recruitment started with the screening of applicant documents were registered and a serial number allocated to them. They were identified, given as serial numbers to proceed to the next stage. Those whose academic qualifications were not satisfactory were disqualified at that stage. Additional verification of these academic papers will still continue to be taken when these candidates report for training. Number two, the methodology was physical assessment. They were made to do some physical exercises, including road runs. Written aptitude was done. Selection of successful candidates on the basis of the district quotas. In case of failure to secure the quota from a district, such positions were secured from the districts in that region. For example, if you did your recruitment for Arua district, in Arua district headquarters, the number of people who turned up were not enough. Those who turned up and qualified were not enough to fulfill the quota for Arua district. It still remained successful candidates from the rest of the country will then be considered in order to attain the overall national of their performance as indicated in the table below. From phase 1, 2,496 applicants were selected, and from phase 2, 2,000 applicants per district is attached, and I will be tabling it. Per district, the people who were taken out of this for each district, I'll be tabling. Then, in the appendix that I'm going to put, there will be list per district, list per region. 575 applicants were assessed to have passed the specialities on the basis of the overall performance as indicated in the following table. Health workers, their quota was 80. 54 of these were male. Female were 26, making a total of 80. Forensic services experts were 150. 128 were male, 22 were female, and 150, that is the total. In the ICT field, as I said, of 200. And the corresponding list of names of the selected applicants will be tabled as Appendix F. The general observations out of the recruitment exercise. Number one, there was districts of northern and eastern regions. Districts from the central, western, and Karamoja regions registered low turnout. Difficulty in achieving the threshold for female candidates was noted due to the low turnout of female candidates in the majority of the districts. This was resolved by demanding the national identification numbers from their ID application forms to NIRA We all know the process goes even during the training process, both for medical, academic, and any other issues that you require, until you are formally appointed in writing. 2019. By 17 September 2019, 4,911 personnel had reported for training, and these included 4,004 assistant inspectors of police. At the end of the reporting, the deadline of Saturday, 21st September 2019, the candidates are to undergo further vetting to ensure that they are the suitable RDC and the thorough medical examination. As I said in the introduction to my report, this is the document, the report given by describing the process, and I thought it's an important one which I should give. The second part of my report, colleagues, regards the issues of the two districts of Mayuge and Ngora, which we have extracted in detail. There are many other districts. We could have extracted them. It will be a voluminous exercise. We just thought we could do these two examples because first they were mentioned on the floor here, but secondly, they will show the kind of documents on which the recruiting team had to rely. And once I've done that, I do not know, I had a little problem on whether I should, this is a confidential application or I should keep it confidential, but I thought since it is already a public, FISO, and he applied through the LC1 chairman, LC2, LC3, the resident district commissioner, and all of them has endorsed. This is in his handwriting. This is a copy in his handwriting, kind of document through which we are going. And it will be useful, particularly for members, to know whether their people applied and whether they were left out. Then there is one from Ngora, and he says, I hereby forward to you the above named. This is a recommendation from the LC1, but his own application, together with his picture,